My name's Sydney, and I'm the coordinator of Humane Education here at the Ottawa Humane Society. Today, Beau and I are going to talk about what to do if you see a wild animal in your backyard. You can see lots of wild animals in your backyard, but today we're going to focus on two of them. Can you guess which two we'll be talking about? We will give you a hint. For one of the animals, it'll be our animal of the day. Today, we're going to talk about some common wild animals we see in Ottawa. We also have a very special guest from Rideau Valley Wildlife Sanctuary that's going to visit us later in this video and teach us some really cool things. Before we meet our special guest, let's recap some important information that we need to know first. Does everyone remember what a wild animal is from our zoo video? That's right! A wild animal is an animal that doesn't rely on people to survive. Wild animals are not kept as pets. Wild animals live in natural habitats. Do you know what habitat means? A habitat is the natural environment of an animal, plant, or other living being. A habitat provides an animal with food, water, shelter, living space. As more people move to the city, we build houses and other buildings like shopping malls and stores. These buildings are being made all around us in areas where wild animals live. This means wild animals have to find new ways to find food and new areas to live. This also means people and wild animals are now sharing the same living spaces. So you might just find yourself face to face with a wild animal in your neighborhood. What are some wild animals that you've seen around your house? Great job! Here are some common wild animals we see in cities. Squirrel, chipmunk, duck, coyote, deer. Sometimes we even see bigger wild animals like bear, moose. Today, we're going to chat about two of the most common wild animals we see living in the city: skunks, raccoons. We have a very special guest joining us today to teach us all about the skunks and raccoons that we share our community with. Jillian from Rideau Valley Wildlife Sanctuary has a message just for us. Let's take a look. If we're lucky, we might even get to see a real-life raccoon.
Hi everyone, my name is Jillian and I'm the Outreach Coordinator here at the Rideau Valley Wildlife Sanctuary. We take care of injured and orphaned wild mammals and turtles and help them get back to the wild once they're healthy. I'm so excited to be joining the OHS. Today we're going to be talking about skunks and raccoons, how to know when they need help, and what you can do to live peacefully with them in your community. First, let's talk about their personalities and habits. Raccoons are recognized by the dark mask around their eyes and the rings around their tail. Their mask appears on their face when they're only about 10 days old, and this is before their eyes have even opened yet. Raccoons are very curious, playful, and clever animals, and they're very good at climbing and using their hands. They can grip things with their nimble fingers and even open containers. Raccoons have over 50 different unique sounds that they can make. This right here is a raccoon letting us know that he's hungry. Skunks can be recognized by the big white stripes that run down their back and their big bushy tails. Skunks don't climb very well, so they're often seen on the ground, and they nest underground or underneath buildings. They have very poor eyesight. They can only see just past their nose, so their sense of smell and hearing is very important to them, and they use it to find food and to avoid trouble. Skunks can release a very stinky spray when they feel like their life is in danger. They usually give some warning signs before they release this spray, which gives their enemies and people who might be nearby a chance to move away. So these warning signs are raising its tail straight up in the air, stamping its feet, lunging towards you while it stamps its feet, and showing you its bum. So all of these warning signs mean that a skunk might spray if you don't back away. So if you ever encounter a skunk showing these signs, speak in a very quiet voice so the skunk knows where you are, because remember, they can barely see, and back away slowly. Once you are at a safe distance, the skunk will usually run away in the opposite direction. Have you ever seen a raccoon or a skunk in your own backyard? What are some of the reasons you think they prefer to live in the city? Well, reason number one is easier access to food. Raccoons and skunks are omnivores, which means they will eat pretty much anything. So compost bins, garbage cans, and pet food left outside are very easy sources of food for them. They don't need to spend as much time or energy to hunt for this food than they would in the country. Skunks especially love grubs and insects inside lawns. So this is one of the reasons why they like to live in the city. It is easier for them to get food. The second reason is shelter. To raccoons, attics, sheds, and decks look like a warm and cozy place to live, and skunks see them as a great spot to dig underneath and build a den. So it's easier for them to find homes and find places to live because humans have already built some structures that they can use. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned a lot today about wildlife. Back to you, Sydney.
Because we're sharing the same living space, we'll probably bump into a raccoon or a skunk. So the best way to stay safe is to practice the 4 L's. Look. Watch wildlife from afar. Check out these furry cuties from a distance, but never approach. Listen. Wildlife, like raccoons, can be noisy, so if you listen closely, especially at nighttime, you might be able to hear them talking to one another. You can also listen for animals that might be trapped in your home. Be sure to always tell your parents if you think a skunk or a raccoon is living in your house or yard. Learn. Read books or watch videos like this to learn more about the wild animals. It's important never to feed wild animals. Sometimes they can be sick and they can make you and your pet really sick. Leave. Most importantly, leave skunks, raccoons, and other wild animals alone. Wild animals are best left to themselves, living in their natural habitat.
We just talked about leaving wildlife alone. It's a really important rule. Wild animals don't know that you're trying to help them, and they might bite or scratch if you try to touch them or pick them up. Today, we're going to be making a wild animal that you can get up and close with, your very own newspaper raccoon. All you'll need is a black pom-pom, some newspaper, some glue, some googly eyes, a marker, some scissors, and some black and blue construction paper. Begin by cutting your raccoon pieces out of your newspaper. You'll need a triangular raccoon face, a half-circle body shape, a tail, and 2 triangle ears. From your black cardstock, cut out a strip for an eye patch, 2 small triangles for the inside of the ears, and 3 tail stripes. Glue your black pieces onto the newspaper pieces. Lay your blue cardstock out horizontally and glue your tail onto the right side of your paper. Glue the raccoon body overlapping the tail a bit and ending at the left side of your paper. Glue the triangle ears on the back of the raccoon face and then glue the face in the middle of the raccoon body. Finish your raccoon by gluing on your googly eyes and black pom-pom. If you tried this craft for yourself, be sure to share a photo on social media or send us an email with a photo of how it turned out. Last but not least, let's learn about our animal of the day. We're going to play a little game. Here are 3 fun facts about our animal of the day. Can you guess what it is? They have thick, bushy tails. They have glands on their bottom that spray a stinky scent. They're nocturnal, so they sleep all day and look for food at night. What am I? Skunk. Did you guess it right? Thank you so much for joining me again today, guys. We had a really great time. Because we live in a city like Ottawa, we're very likely to see wild animals like raccoons and skunks. But to keep your family, your pet, and yourself safe, remember to practice the 4 L's. To look, listen, learn, and most importantly, leave them alone. Have a really great day and remember to be kind.